off into the wall.
He's gonna go to the inside of...
Muggleton just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.
Hello and welcome to the V8 Supercars Americas Series. I am Kane Kraft. JD not going to be with us tonight. He's on a special vacation with his fiance. So wish JD luck, as he just has proposed to his girlfriend over the week and now engaged to be married. So he's off celebrating that this Friday night. But with me tonight, Ryan Shelton's going to be with us. Welcome Ryan Shelton to the booth. Ryan, what do you think about tonight here at Brands Hatch, Indy? Alright, well, welcome Ryan Shelton. I was just saying how TeamSpeak wasn't messing with me today, and it just did it. But welcome Ryan Shelton to the show, everybody. Ryan, what do you think about Brands Hatch this week on the Indy configuration?
Hey man, it's going to be wild, for sure. What we had last night, kind of a pre-race last night for our Thursday night SOF was a slower guy can hold a faster guy up really well. So passing is extremely hard here. Especially you'll probably see some stupid moves there at the very end of the race, just from people being tired of being behind somebody else. You've got 35 laps, which is not a whole lot of time, especially when you've got somebody who's qualified with a 44.74, that being Madison down, our pole position. So you get 44 and a half seconds running around this place for 35 laps. You don't have a whole lot of time to make a move. So it's going to be a lot of action. First lap, these tires are cold and they have no grip. And it's going, like I said, there's going to be a lot of action, especially in the first couple of laps. And then throughout the middle of the race, you'll see a lot of people just kind of try to find a place to pass. It's hard.
Some good talent in the server here today. We've got Madison down, of course, as you mentioned. Sam Sutton with us today. Bo Cattell, Jake Blackhall, Sean Kelly, Bo Cubis, Michael Healy, Falzon El Nabi. We haven't seen Falzon for several races here, so good to see Falzon back, as well as so many of these guys. Good to see Madison down back in the Americas Series. I haven't got to see Madison for a while, and of course Marlon McMullen with us today, Sanjay Dadalik, and even a couple new faces, Mick Gray and Gresham Wagner, a couple brand new faces to the V8 Supercars Americas Series.
Yeah, a couple of those guys, I believe, Gresham actually raced in the race before this one. So there was an 8:15 time slot that went official. There was only 6 of us. Super cloudy, so it was like really cold. But he was in there. He actually finished the race, which was nice to see. So we'll see if he can't move his way up. Right now he's currently 22nd on the time charts. So we'll see if he can't move his way up through the field throughout the race.
Madison down is still showing that pole position with a 44.74. We should be getting pretty close to wrapping up qualifying here.
Yeah, it looks like we got about 2 minutes. So everybody's pretty much locked in their times. Dale Nish and Sanjay Delilik have not put a time down. Sanjay looks like he just joined the session, so he'll probably be able to put 1 lap down if his session loads up quickly. Actually, it does not. So we're actually going to go gridding. We got 2 minutes till the grid.
Alright, so that does it for qualifying. Guys are going to make the final adjustments to their cars, make sure they got race fuel added and things like that as they qualify using just a little bit different setup than what they'll use for the race. So everybody will be changing the setups on their car, getting ready for the race. And while they're doing that, we're going to go through the qualifying results here and let you guys know how this race is going to start. Madison down. It's going to start from the first place. Sam Sutton will roll off from second. Bo Cattell is going to go from third. Jake Blackhall from fourth. Sean Kelly going from the fifth spot. Bo Cubis from sixth. Michael Healy from seventh. Falzan El Nabi eighth. Jason Quire ninth. Corey Preston will go from 10th. And I will let you give the next 10 or so.
Yeah, it looks like Marlon McMullen. We've got him at 11th. Luke Harvey is 12th. Sheen Macbeth is 13th. Adam Zettinger is 14th. Craig Jones is 15th. And that's where you get a second off the top pole. So first through 15th is actually 1 second. So this field is super duper tight. Then we've got Richard Lucky at 16th. Bruce Keeley 17th, 12th, Sheen Macbeth 18th, Michael Taliantic 19th, Tony Klusherman is 20th, Mick Gray, new face, along with Gresham Wagner will be 21st, 22nd, Dale Niche 23rd, and Sanjant Delilah will be at 24th. So it's going to be a close one. 15 people within a second. Let's see how this rolls out. Engine revs are up. And they are green. Clean start. Nobody bought this time around. Pretty clean throughout the field so far. Doesn't look to be anything too bad. It looks like everybody's gotten through so far. Looks like there's 3 wide way back in the field.
Things looking good up front. Madison down, out in front. Sam Sutton in second. Bo Cattell third. Jake Blackhall fourth. Bo Cubis in fifth. Falzan El Nabi sixth. And Sean Kelly down to seventh. Some position shuffling just behind as Michael Healy moves up to ninth, just around Corey Preston. And looks like everybody's kind of getting in line here. Corey going to go to the inside of Healy, looking to get that spot back. He is going to get it through.
Well, it looks like he's trying to do the over-under. Michael looks for it, doesn't take it. And as you see, we start the train that's going to be kind of forming here. Ooh, it looks like somebody got loose back there. That was Jason Quire. Just got a little loose. It's going to allow for Marlon McMullen to catch up there, get right on his bumper there. But I think we'll probably see this for about the next 5 laps or so. You'll see a couple of moves. It looks like Sean Kelly up front. He was trying to make a move. Actually, he got passed on by Falzan. So Falzan moves up to 6th place there.
Falzan El Nabi in a new Henlink Motorsports machine today. Henlink Industries machine, rather. Sean Kelly is going to get that position right back. A good battle here for these positions. Just behind him, Corey Preston still ahead of Mike Healy, but Michael Healy's not going to let him go. Back behind those guys are actually pulling away from Marlon McMullen a little bit. And then Marlon's got Luke Harvey on his bumper.
Yeah, so it looks like everybody right now is just kind of giving each other room. I understand it's not a terribly long race, but it's it's long enough not to make a really terrible move right now or try to overcook your tires, because they will not be pitting this race.
Sean Kelly now starting to pull away from Falzon just a little bit. Get a little gap there, at least be able to take a breath or two. Closest battle on the field actually is back in 15th for Sanjin Delalik is caught right up to Adam Zettinger. Adam right on the bumper of Sean Macbeth as well. Sean Macbeth in the 13th spot.
Yeah, back there with them, you got Tony Klusman, who's looking to try to make a move on Michael Taliantich. He was right up on this bumper coming through the last section there. Looks like Klusman's going to try to make a move here soon to move up from the 17th position. Probably not something he's used to or wanting to be in. As you can see, he is much quicker down through that turn 3.
Now he's going to go to the inside. He's not going to quite get up enough to get a move on Michael Taliantich there, but boy, it looked like he was really going to.
He is really, really aggressive. He's looking to make a pass soon. It looks like you got Sanjin Delay look up there trying to drive like a SVG, doing some of that grass cutting.
Sanjin Delalik in a new livery as well, the TNT machine.
Ooh! As he gets a little loose. Oh!
Whoa, so Tony Klusman's loose!
Oh, saves it, keeps off the wall, so that's good. Let's hope he doesn't drive right on track. Ooh, good job. Oh, it looks like he's got a little bit of rear end damage, so he may have gotten hit sooner than her earlier, but he just got on the gas too early there, and that's going to lose him a lot of time.
So easy to do right there. It is
so
easy for that car to snap loose coming out of that turn. Going back now to take a look at Tony's little mishap here. This turn is just, as JD would say, devastational. It's just so easy right there just to do exactly that. I can't even count the number of times that exact same thing's happened to me. And we'll probably see it happen another time or two throughout this race.
Yes. Oh, it looks like Corey Preston and Falzon are having a really great battle. Corey Preston actually just about ran Falzon over. But it's, he's got him all the way down to the bottom line. Corey goes to the outside, see if he can't make a move around the outside.
Corey has just found so much pace in this new car. Really quick.
Yeah, he made a pass around the outside of Paddock Hill, which is great. that was a move right there.
I am really excited to see Corey Preston doing well. He's got the speed again. We've seen him a couple seasons ago really have a lot of speed, but just, I don't know, he just kept having little accidents. But the last couple weeks, well, last week rather, a couple races, he really did quite well. He's really, seems like he might just be maturing as a driver and really coming into his own here, and he'll definitely be an interesting one to watch this season because he's definitely got the pace. He'll be running down Sean Kelly here before long. Sean Kelly up in 4th. Jake Blackhall been running with us this season. Jake up in 5th. He was a driver, as I mentioned last week, that last season finished the season off here in the America Series and really had a lot of great pace. He's a driver that you want to keep an eye on this season as well.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see some of these guys, progress from where they used to be just a couple of seasons ago. Corey Preston was very, very quick, but he, like you said, he just made mistakes here and there. Very Chaz Monster, Kyle Busch, depending on who you follow, esque. But he's now started to look like he's understood that these races aren't 5 laps long, and he's starting to figure out, you've got to finish the race first before you finish first. But yeah, it looks like he's doing pretty well. He's moved himself up to 7th, but Falzon is actually starting to slow down here. And he's starting to get into the clutches of Michael Healy.
Yeah, Healy's going to get up there. He'll be wanting to get that position back as Falzon's pace starts to dwindle just a little bit, maybe a little overheated on the tires. But I'd say it's probably too early for the tires to really be going too much.
No, this is when they're in their prime right now because chances because with the new tire model that they released this season, it's through a regular race track, it'd be about 3 to 5 laps. Here it's about 7 to 8. So you're only a couple laps off of that. So these tires should really be in their prime right now, and it seems like his are not. May have just got the pressure just a little wrong for the tires for the track temp. Which is currently 105 on the track temp.
So up in front, Madison down. He is in the lead. He's ahead of Sam Sutton by 2.1 seconds. Sam Sutton ahead of Bo Cattell back in third. Sam's got a 2.1 edge over Bo Cattell. 2.1 second edge, now 2.2. Bo Cattell is 3 seconds ahead of Bo Cubas. So the top 3 drivers pretty well split. They got pretty good distance between them. And then at Bo Cubas, the gap just starts getting a little closer between Bo Cubas and Jake Blackhall. That gap is 1.3 seconds. And then Sean Kelly is just caught right up there to Jake Blackhall. And we're going to see a battle here for 5th before too long. And Corey Preston back in 7th, doing his best to run down Sean Kelly. He is making gains. That distance between them is ticking down, a 10th or so each lap.
Yeah, I stepped back through the back of the field just real quick, just take a look. It looks like Michael Taliancic he's got 2 people right behind him. He's got Dale Nish and Sanjay Delilah, the 2 who did not even put down a qualifying time, are sitting there 15th and 16th, and they're trying to overlap Michael there. They're in a little 3-car train, see if they can't make a move. Oh, Dale Nish just runs a little wide there at the final corner. Going to allow Michael and Sanjay just to pull away just a little bit.
Up ahead of that battle, there's a very similar looking battle. We got Luke Harvey in 11th. He's got Michael Healy in front of him. Michael Healy all over the bumper. Marley McMullen, so a 3-way battle here for 9th. Marley McMullen does lead that little pack. Luke Harvey and Michael Healy wanting that position. Looks like Luke Harvey might have fallen off just a little bit off of those guys' pace.
Yeah, but here, you make one little mistake. It ends up costing you 2 or 3 tenths, and around here 2 or 3 tenths is like 2 or 3 seconds at any other track because there's just not enough.
Sanjay Delilah into the back of Michael Taliancic. Michael kind of got a little loose going into the turn, locked him up just a touch. I really thought Sanjay was going to end up kind of sideswiping him while he was sideways, but Sanjay got her slowed down and just barely made some contact midway through the corner. They got through just fine, but as the tensions start to build here, this is going to be an interesting battle to watch.
Yes. Yeah, so what I've figured out from racing yesterday is the only real way to pass is either A, have the guy in front.
Sorry to interrupt. Michael Healy to the inside of Marlon McMullen. Luke's going to try to get through as well. Marlon not going to let that happen. Marlon's going to at least hold on to 10th. So, Michael Healy through on Marlon McMullen for 9th.
Yeah, like I was saying, you've got to have just a big set of kahunas to make a pass here, just because you have to dive it in and hope for the best, and that's exactly what Michael Healy looked like he just did.
Sanjay Delilah looking like he's setting up to try to get a pass down here on Michael Taliancic. He's going to go a little wide, try to get under. He isn't going to give it a shot. He's going to stay back there in 15th for the time being.
Corey has made that position up on Sean Kelly, so he has moved up into 6th place. It looked like Sean Kelly actually just kind of lost it just a little bit coming out of the last corner. That allowed Corey just to get on by. Those are
Really appreciate Sean Kelly joining us and running here in the America Series this season. He has to wake up quite early in the morning to join us here in the America Series, and that can be kind of tough for some people to get up real early and then jump right into the race cars, so really appreciate his efforts.
Yeah, it's not easy, that's for sure.
Yes, American drivers know a little bit about that. Well, not me, but I have actually had to wake up early in the morning a few times to help commentate broadcast. Sanjin Delalik's car disappeared. I thought he might have got disconnected from the server, but he did pop back in. But yeah, we've had to wake up early to go run in the Premier Series a time or two, and it's definitely tough. Just even commentating, it's
Sanjin.
amazing.
Oh, he gave him a tap. I'm sorry. But Sanjin gave him a tap coming off the Kydeck. They're going to go 3 wide going into Druids here. Dale Niche. Oh, he had to really hold up. No position change just yet, but that was massive, and it could have been in for tears for all 3 of them.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, and I'm just guessing here, but it kind of looks like Sanjin might be getting a little frustrated back there, and as that progresses, see a little bit more kind of bumping, letting him know, hey, I'm back here, I'm really going to be trying hard to get by you, and you're not making it easy on me. Just kind of little bumps.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was talking about in the pre-race. First couple of laps, you'll see people just kind of, try to find an easy passing opportunity. Once they can't find an easy passing opportunity, they make a passing opportunity. Oh, and there's a mistake from Michael. Let's see if Sanjin can't capitalize on it. See if he can't do a little over-under here. He's right underneath that spoiler of Michael. He backs up just a little bit. He doesn't want to give him a nudge, but he definitely wants to stay with him. This is going to allow Dale Niche to get right there, and they are nose to tail, 3 cars within about 3/10 of each other.
I love it when the racing is this good that you can find a race this action-packed back in 14th, 15th,
Oh, Dale Niche
16th.
goes for the pass. Oh, they touch. Dale Niche loses it just a little bit. Oh, they touch.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Sanjay got away with that one. Oh, and they wreck. Oh, Michael gets in contact with Bruce. Bruce keeps it all together. And Michael's going to be the big loser out of that one.
Yeah, that last little touch from Dale Niche, as Dale kind of lost it going in there too. That last little touch, I thought Michael was going to be okay. That last little touch really threw him sideways and cost him a lot of time. Now Bruce Keeley up in there as well. Looking kind of tough here for Michael Taliancic, at least for the moment, till he gets calmed down again and can get this car moving forward. Dale Niche, a little bit more troubles as these guys able to reel him back in really quickly.
Madison Downs still has a 4-second lead on Sam Sutton right now. Bo Cattell is in 3rd, Boki Biss is in 4th, and Jake Blackhall is in 5th.
Bo Cattell with a huge slide there. That's going to cost him a large amount of time on Bo Cubis.
Right now, everybody's just kind of a second away from each other. But what that wreck did allow is for Tony Klusman to catch right back up to these guys. And he's right back up there with them where he was before. So he's closed up a lot of speed. See if he can't make the pass happen this time around.
Yeah, he's in kind of a tough position, Michael Taliancic, up ahead of Bruce Keeley. Bruce now having some troubles getting around Michael Taliancic, and that's going to kind of group those 3 up as well. So another 3-car battle here behind the number 18 machine.
Looks like Tony's going for the pass there. Paddock, can he make it stick? He keeps it right off of him. And he keeps it, yep. So a clean pass from Tony. And that's what it takes. It takes two corners to make a pass happen here, and there's only 6 in the entire track, so.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful pass from Tony Klusterman. Nice and clean, no contact. He set it up good and just executed that pass about as good as you could expect to get done here. Now he's got to work on Michael Taliancic up ahead, and that hasn't been easy so far. Taliancic's line just such that it's kind of hard to get around him.
Yeah, and that's the guy who he was racing before when he spun out the first time. So let's see if he can't make it happen this time around. Oh, Michael gets way loose. And that's going to allow Tony to get on the inside here at the S at the chicane. And he'll make the clean pass again. Good job.
Yeah, Taliancic getting a little loose in the same spot Tony got loose early on.
Yeah, it looks like Michael's almost about to clear another spot back to Bruce. I bet Bruce is mad, really mad right now, because he's just lost 2 positions.
Yeah.
He still hasn't passed Michael. He just watched Tony Klusterman walk right around him.
And Delaniche almost got that 2-car pass done earlier on. Got 2 cars in 1 corner, but didn't quite happen. I don't know if you can call that almost or not whenever it ends that badly. Up in 11th spot, Luke Harvey all over the bumper of Marlon McMullen still. This has been a battle for the ages for these two, as it's been going on all race long.
Yeah, last night Luke was right behind me, and he had actually lost it coming up here to this chicane here. He lost it, just went off track. But I think these two are going to battle it out to the end, because we're all about the same speed.
Luke Harvey driving for Evolution Racing Australia. My overlay says he's a privateer. Luke Harvey, new to the American Series. This is, I've only seen him in the American Series a couple races here, at least in the top split here. But I'll definitely have to get his name and team added to the overlay list in the next week.
Yeah, it's cool. They got picked up by Logitech. They're got a full-on Logitech G sponsorship, so it's cool to see that that's happening here in our small V8 community.
That is, it's very cool. So.
Oh, Luke Harvey actually just went off track at the same spot from yesterday. It looks like that chicane is just not the best for him. He didn't lose any positions, but he has definitely lost a lot of time on Marlin, and that's going to end his run.
Corey pressing to the inside. He's going to make contact with Jake Blackhall. Those guys able to save it, but they're bouncing off of each other. Finally, disaster strikes for Jake. Tough break for Jake Blackhall. Oh man, that's gonna really get him fired up.
Oh, so it actually kind of looked like Blackhall moved in the braking zone, not allowing Corey Preston to react, and he just didn't have anywhere to go. And now the Henlink, Falzon actually puts Blackhall in the dirt also. So this is going all kinds of bad for Jake right now. He's got Michael Healy right behind him. And this is, like I said, this has just gone all bad for Blackhall.
I'm going to try to get a replay of that last little incident. I was on a replay of the first one when this one happened. They come into the passing zone here. El Nabi goes to the inside. Locks him up and just goes straight. And contact, more contact for the Logitech machine. And that, like I say, more bad luck for Jake Blackhall.
Yeah, it just looks like Falzon saw an opening and he wanted to get it done as quick as possible, considering there's only 4 laps left in this race.
Yeah, sprint race here today. This short little track, it goes really quick.
You know, it looks like Blackhall is right up on the bumper of Falzon. See if he can't do the same pass that Corey did earlier. Looks like he's not going to be able to do the outside of Paddock Hill, as Michael Heatley just runs a little wide there. Oh, and Blackhall goes underneath. Can he make this pass happen? He's still there. He's still there. They're side by side going into turn 3 and 4. Still side by side.
Whoa.
Looks like Heatley tried to make it 3 wide there. That's not 3 wide. Oh, they're still side by side through the S's. No contact has been made yet. Michael Heatley makes the pass also. And he's going to try going for 2.
Wow, some great racing back here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Michael Healy on fire as he's
Michael
going
Heatley goes for the pass. Can he keep it? Oh, they touch. They keep it together. Blackhall goes for the inside. Healy protects it. Falzon is right behind him. This has allowed Marlon McMullen to catch right up to him.
Yeah, with 3 laps to go now, even Marlon McMullen's going to get up into this battle, and this battle's going to be 4 deep. Michael Healy out in front after a couple of great moves gets him out in front of this little battle. Jake Blackhall, after some bad luck, puts him back in here, but he's been having some really good battles back here. But yeah, it's been some great racing back here. He looked like he might have been getting kind of bored up there up front for a little while. And then now he's back here into some serious action. Falzon and Nabi having a great race here tonight, up here racing up for 9th place. But man, some tough racing for 9th place.
Yeah, and they only have a lap and a half left of this. And it looks like Marlon may try to make a pass here on Falzon within the next lap and a half, considering that's all they got left.
Well, you said earlier that about the only way you can really get a pass done is to just get it thrown in there and just kind of be brave with it. And that is kind of Marlon's style, so we might see him be able to pick up a spot in the closing laps here. Madison Down is on his final lap. He's only got about half a lap left at this point.
Marlon does not throw it in, so we'll see if he can't make it happen in the very last corner. That is a possible passing point if you just throw it into the wind and hope for the best.
Madison Down is your winner for round 2 of the V8 Supercars America Series. From start to finish, he's just dominated this thing. About a 5-second lead over second place Sam Sutton. Man, that was an exciting one, Ryan. That several parts of that thing really almost speechless there for a little bit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, especially you know, that mid pack put down a really good run. That was definitely one of the better races to watch.
We've seen action mid pack, and we've seen just as good action back for 15th place. And then, of course, up in 5th and 6th place, we've seen some good action there as well. So
yeah, it just seemed like the last 10 laps, everybody just turned it up to 11 and went all BTC style.
Yeah, passing pretty hard to get done here, and everybody kind of got more brave in the last 10 laps or so, and that definitely made for an interesting race.
Yeah, and I think the biggest loser today is probably Jake. he made that poor decision there. I would think it's going to be definitely one for the drivers to work out themselves, but I think he made a pretty poor decision trying to block Corey Preston there, and it just threw him back into the mid pack, and he lost more than a couple of positions.
Yeah, that one definitely. I'm sure Jake probably sees it a little differently than Corey does, as that's always the case. But yeah, it's always best, especially on such a tight track like Brands Hatch here, to just see somebody come and try to give him a little room, but still, try to hold him off the best you can. But it's better to not end up in the ditch. Madison down with a beautiful victory burnout here at Brands Hatch. So glad iRacing has got us some smoke for these burnouts. Thank you, iRacing. Marlin getting some drifting in as well.
Yeah, me and Marlon at the end of the race yesterday started doing a little bit of drifting. It was a lot of fun.
While these guys get their victory burnouts done, let's go through the official race results. We had Madison down in the #1 spot. Sam Sutton with a fantastic race here today. Comes home in second place, and yeah, he was able to stick with Madison up to 5 seconds, 5.7 seconds, and that's actually pretty darn good. Madison can usually on small tracks like this can run away, but they get a 20-second lead. So Sam Sutton really did a great job. Bo Cattell in third, Bo Cubis fourth, Corey Preston up into fifth, Sean Kelly sixth, Michael Healy will finish in seventh, Jake Blackhall down to eighth, Falzon El Nabi finished in ninth, Marlon McMullen brings it home in 10th. Luke Harvey in 11th. Adam Zettinger finished in 12th. Craig Jones 13th. Sanjin Dalelic in 14th. Dale Nish brought it home in 15th. Tony Klusterman recovered from an early race incident to bring it home in 16th. Michael Taliantich finished in 17th. Bruce Keeley 18th. Richard Lucky 19th. And Gresham Wagner finished in the 20th position. 21st went to Mike Gray. Sean Macbeth finished in 22nd. Jason Quire out of the race early on will get a 23rd result. Halen Dodman out early as well and 24th. That does wrap up the race results. Looks like we've got a couple drivers in for an interview. And looks like we'll go ahead and start our post-race show, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start that in just about 10 seconds so I can get everything set up here on my end real quick.
So yeah, I think first up we'll have the man of the match being Corey Preston. He ended up gaining 5 positions in that race. Started out 10th, and he finished up in the 5th position. So he ended up having a pretty good race overall.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's bring in Corey Preston. Corey, another quick drive. You've really got the pace in this new car. Of course, incident there kind of shook things up a little bit, but he brought her home in 5th place. That's a good result with a tough field like we had tonight.
Yeah, I mean, in quali I actually had no dash on the steering wheel, and it's kind of off-putting. like I had my gear and my shift lights, but you don't have it. You don't have like your red RPM bar or any of your lap times or anything like that. So it's very off-putting to see a blank screen. But so I did one lap and then I put it in the grit sand at the end of turn one on my second qual lap, and yeah, that was me starting back in wherever I started, and then yeah, it was just a case of driving through the field, and yeah, I mean, and about that incident, I don't know what I was meant to do there. I mean, I had that move possibly set up the whole way through turn one, and he braked, but he didn't move over before he braked. He braked in a straight line almost, and then started moving over as I was already up there, and I tried to take to the grass as much as I could to avoid it, but no, it just didn't work. But I don't see how that was my fault. So, yeah. All in all, pretty good race, but that was a very unnecessary incident.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
we
was. Yeah,
usually
we
don't.
we watched that one back. I watched it back a few times. It did look like you were on the receiving end of that one. But overall, it was a pretty good race for you. Started 10th, finished 5th. Um, Made your way through the field, made a couple of passes, and it looks like you were gifted one with Sean. But overall, it was a
Oh,
pretty decent race with you.
yeah, gifted. Is that what you call a? Is that what you call a Shauna? Almost wiped me out, to be honest. But
Yeah.
no, he just lost control. But I had to react very quickly because that was if I didn't react quick enough, that was absolute tragedy right there. And yeah, luckily I avoided it, and I think he escaped damage as well. I didn't net code him or anything, so all was well. And yeah, it was a good race. I mean, fifth, I'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. And for our first time here, obviously your finish was pretty good. But did you overall like the track and like how it raced with these cars?
Yeah, I was actually finding it pretty good. I mean, in the practice sessions, I couldn't figure out a line through the last corner. I think they call it Clairvale or something, and then it goes into clearways or Certes and clearways, something like that. But that last sort of left, right, and then the last corner in practice on a qual set, I was struggling the whole time. But hooked the race set on, and you just slow it down that little bit in third gear, and it just on rails through there. So, and then you drive it real narrow out into the front straight, and you just start pulling time on people left, right, and center. So, I didn't think like in the practice I was complaining about how this track was maybe a little too small for these cars, but after racing it, it's all right. But because of the limited opportunities to pass, I mean, I don't know, must drive people mad or something because they tend to make sometimes silly decisions.
Yeah,
Oh, we definitely
um,
seen that.
yeah. And speaking of, we're going from this track to next week with the V8 season, going to a much larger flat track in the Indy layout. How are you feeling about that? Have you done any laps just yet?
Yeah, I've done some laps at Indy. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a very odd circuit because you get. Well, I've always said that you get lost in the mid corner. Like you get into no man's land. It almost feels like you just. It's like you're a pilot and you have instrument failure. You just no hope, hopeless. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a great track if I'm honest, but the car seems to work well round there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Well, good race. And we'll definitely see you next week. I'm not sure where the official series is going, but the V8 Scotch.
Interlagos.
Okay. So we should have some much different racing there than we had today. Um, but we'll definitely have fun next Sunday. That's for sure. And we'll see you then.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Nice to see you. Unfortunately, in the comms box. But I mean, if it helps Kane out, it's pretty good, I suppose.
Yeah, I would have much rather been out there on the track, but it's a lot of fun up here watching y'all beat and bang doors.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not losing safety rating.
Yeah, well, I'll just say I was on about 5 incidents till that happened, and yeah,
Yeah,
I ended up with 13, I think. So,
yeah,
you
man.
know, but yeah, it'll be good to see the I rating gain, but not so great the SR. But yeah,
All right, man. We'll see you
oh
next
well,
time.
yeah, oh well. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Corey. Well, the race winner has made it in. Let's get a word with Madison Down. Can't find his name here. There he is. Madison, what another fantastic drive. Really glad to see you here in the Americas Series. You raced with the guys yesterday. Found out that the track was kind of fun to drive. Come back tonight and have quite the dominating performance out in front for the whole time. But Sam didn't let you get away too awful far.
Yeah, it was good race as I said yesterday as well. It's quite a fun track, short little circuit. Didn't expect it to be so enjoyable actually, but it's always more enjoyable when you got a car that handles nice. So our car was on rails, one turn in, one throttle application out the other side, and it was really nice and easy to drive. So no, it was a really good race. I've needed that little bit of confidence boost as well because we've had a pretty average run all year with this car. So just trying to get on top of the setup with the new physics and try and sort out what I can. So just trying to get as many race miles as possible, and that race all went to plan. Can't fault it at all.
Yeah, it was pretty fun just seeing you just lap after lap constantly just putting it down, a very, very consistent pace. But yeah, it seems like you're definitely the quickest guy out there. But it seems like your race is pretty boring. Just lap and lap after lap. Did the lap traffic give you any trouble?
No, lap traffic was all good. Everyone was really good. It was as you say, it was probably a bit of a boring race for the battle for the lead anyway. But it was just a matter of got down into turn one first, and then just tried to get away from Sam and just built that margin slowly each lap. And Sam drove well, but I'm very happy with the way I drove as well. So it was very, very consistent lap times. I'm just looking at the laps now, and it was only half a tenth generally separating the laps, lap times, lap to lap. So the car was really good. So it was a very long race from where I sat. The 35 laps, only 25-minute race this week. So it just felt like it went on forever. But that's the way it feels when you're trying to manage a lead. So no, it was to get the Ultimate Karting Sydney car up the front and get a good result. And well done to Sam as well on second. He did push me all the way. It may not have looked like it on the broadcast, but he certainly kept me honest.
Yeah, it seemed like once you got that 5-second lead, it just kind of stalled out there. So we definitely saw that either A, Sam was picking it up, or B, y'all are both just running the same lap times, just running to a number. But I saw you had a lap around today at the Indy circuit, the other Indy circuit. How you feeling about that for next week?
The car actually feels surprisingly good around there as well. So the setup I used for this Brands Hatch Indy is actually the setup I've been using for Indy. So the tracks were similar to set up for, which is interesting. But Indy should be good for the V8 Premier Series. Nice open track, bit of passing opportunities with the big banking, very wide run into turn one. So I think it should be a good race. I've done a few little muck round races with people, and there's plenty of opportunity to crisscross and get a bit of side-by-side action. So no, it should be really good, and it'll be really interesting to see in that series how everybody goes. That'll be the first race in that series with the new physics. So that'll be very interesting to see how everybody's got on top of it. And it's been very interesting with the Monday night racing and also the Americas racing that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I want to take you back to a statement you said earlier about just getting some time on the track to kind of learn the new car. You'd said you had been having kind of an average year. I think might have been the word you said, something similar to that. But actually been doing pretty good in the V8 Scops. How do you think, now that we've got the new car, how do you think you fare in the new car? Are we going to see things change a lot in the V8 Supercars Online Premier Series?
I think the fast guys will still be fast. TTL have been pretty dominant this year, especially Josh Rogers in all series. So I think he's been fast straight off the bat as well. So it's not really going to spice it up too much. I do think the car probably suits me a little bit more than it did. But you know, time will tell. We'll have to see. I mean, I complain about the year being average. I've still been on the podium a lot of times, virtually every race. I'm just haven't had a race win in the Premier Series now for over a year, believe it or not. So it's been a very, very dry spell. So, and to be honest, I haven't really been driving well enough. I haven't really deserved the win in any of those races so far, really. So just too many little mistakes, just a lock brake here and there, little missed apexes, stuff like that. So
And some
I
bad
just trying
luck.
to do it. Yeah, I've had a little bit of bad luck as well this year. Few incidents have knocked me out of competitive places, and a strategy mess up in round one when the race was in the bag. So there's been a few things not go my way, but I've been trying to race what I can a little bit more just to try and get the driving aspect a little bit better. And tonight, I honestly can't say I missed a single apex tonight, so I'm really, really happy with how I drove.
Well, I'm
That's
very
always good.
very excited to see the race and see how you do. Root for you each and every week. Of course, there's probably about 15 or 20 other drivers that I root for every week as well. But I don't know. I'm just kind of strange like that. I get to watch you guys throughout the course of your careers here and just get to where I like all of you guys. But definitely been enjoying watching the season thus far and can't wait for the next round. But thanks, Madison, for coming in for a post-race interview. It's always fantastic to see you here in the America Series, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, hopefully I'm back. Normally I've got work now, so I've got work a little bit later today, so I could get the race in. So hopefully I have a similar situation to that in the coming weeks. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Catch you later.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, Madison. That was Madison Down, your winner here tonight for round 2 in the V8 Supercars Americas Series. Now let's bring in Sam Sutton, the driver that took second place today. Very hard-fought second place from Sam Sutton. Not necessarily in battles, but to have the speed to hold Madison down to 5 seconds. That was a really good run, actually.
Yeah, I mean, not as good as probably our performance was last week in official, just experimenting with a few things with the car, and this race in particular just didn't work. I mean, Madison, the critical thing was the start, and I didn't get it right. Madison got it a bit better than me, and once he was in front, I knew it was going to be hard to get back in front of him again, especially at this track where it's basically got one shot to pass, and even then it's a bit of a long shot.
Yeah, it didn't seem like you had a terrible race. It just seemed like there the first couple of laps, he just kind of ran away, and then you're just not able to have the pace to catch up to him.
Yeah, well, it's just a bit of relative spotting when I was in the car. I was probably better through turns 1 and the little left-right at the back of the track, but he was much better through the slow third gear stuff, so like turn 2, 3, and then the last corner getting off there, he was probably about a tenth quicker than I was in every one of those corners, so added up, just the car wasn't quite under me today, which he seemed to enjoy. He actually said it after the race. It was nice to see one of our cars struggle for a change.
Yeah, he said that his setup was pretty much on point and his race was pretty much perfect, and it just seems to be the difference between first and second. But yeah, you didn't really seem you had much happen during the race. You had 5 seconds for Madison and 4 seconds back to Bo. So was it lap traffic any kind of issue or anything?
No, that traffic wasn't too bad. It was just probably one car that made it a bit interesting. I mean, you don't really let a guy go with just the car width and 1 on the inside. It was a bit tricky, but I mean, we expected to get some traffic. There's a bit of variance in some of the talent in the field, and it just shows that on a track that's only a 40-odd second lap, you're bound to get some traffic. Most of them were pretty good and just jumped out of the way, especially on the front straight. But I mean, there's not much you can do really. They don't have to get out of your way.
Yeah, man. And next week, Indy, the other Indy. Have you done some laps yet?
Not for next week, no. I'll just take it as it comes really. When I think I need to do something, I'll get working on a setup for that. We're still kind of experimenting with what's going to work with the car. We had something work really well at Alton Park last week, and we're just wanting to see if it works at other tracks. So went a bit in the other direction tonight just to see if Etheria had worked. Didn't quite work, so we might go back to what we were using at Alton Park.
Right on.
Sam, I want to take you, kind of change gears and go to something else other than the driving on the track. Big news announced yesterday that V8 Online will be covering the Monday night races, and we've seen you and Jake take the role of commentator in a lot of these races and have been doing such a fantastic job. I don't think too many people would have guessed that you guys pairing up like you did would have turned out to be such a good commentating duo, but you guys definitely have nailed it. Are we going to see you guys in the comms box on Monday nights?
Potentially, without giving away too much, Jake will be there. I'll be there occasionally. I mean, we make a good pair because we raced together last year as teammates, and there's always a bit of banter between us. So whenever you get guys in the comm box like that who are willing to bounce off each other, it works well. So I think you'll definitely see Jake and I up there in the comm box pretty regularly on Monday night, and we might have another guest, but I don't know who yet.
Awesome. Yeah, guest commentators definitely come in handy. I don't know where I would be without my guest commentators every now and again, but I can't wait to start watching Monday nights again, and thanks for you guys' effort in making that happen.
Nah, it's good to get official racing back to the home of V8 Online. RaceSpot did a good job the last couple of seasons, but time to give it some Aussie love again.
Well, y'all had some Aussie guys in the booth, so it made it okay.
Yeah, nothing beats the original OG V8 Online Monday night broadcast. I mean, it'll be interesting doing that with Scops as well, but we'll see what happens as to the viewership. But it'll be a good change. We don't know how long it's going to go for, but give it his first whack at the season. We're starting off next Monday. Will be the first one we cover.
Yeah, and I do want to.
I'll be watching.
Do want to say that I think everybody did appreciate RaceSpot stepping up and doing that when V8's Online couldn't. RaceSpot stepped up, and I thought they did a just fine broadcast. But as somebody who started watching on the V8's Online broadcast, it just wasn't the same, and it wasn't no fault of theirs, I don't think. But it will definitely be great to have it back at the home of V8's Online. So I can't wait for that. Thank you so much, Sam, for coming in and racing here tonight, and thanks for coming in and talking to us.
Alright, cheers guys, and a massive thanks to Hoppy Stimulator as well for being on the car.
Thanks, Sam.
Alright.
Oh, there's Sean Kelly. Welcome to the show. Sorry to bring you in without any warning. Probably
That's
having
right.
a great conversation there.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Well, Sean, a great drive tonight. Some great battles, and then, of course, one little mistake. But otherwise, some fantastic battles. It was really great to see out there. Looked like you might have even been having some fun.
Yeah, I'm afraid not really. I just love the full layout track too much to like in this Indy layout. I just love the full track, so yeah.
I can't argue. That's the exact way I feel. It is that I love Brands Hatch full track, and to see this little one. The racing was great, but I just can't get into it like I can the full track.
Nah, that's right. And I didn't even set my alarm this morning, so I didn't know if I was going to race because it's a big night. I was out last night and woke up, steering wheel issues. By the time I got that sorted, I only had half an hour in the car. In total, probably only had about three and a half hours in the car since it came out. So I knew I wasn't going to be on pace at all, and I should have grabbed Madison's setup because I was actually on the OSR development setup. I don't think that made a difference anyway. Just not enough time in the car. So yeah, a little bit off the pace, but it was nice to be out there and up for the morning having a run. So didn't really get in much of a battle, but hopefully it's enjoyable still.
Yeah, it was pretty good fun watching you.
Yeah, cheers. I don't know what's next week, but we're looking forward to that.
The new track. What is
Interlagos.
The new track? Is it Interlagos?
Yeah, Interlagos, and then Imola is the week after.
Ah, gotcha.
All right, yeah, I love Interlagos. It's been a long time since it's been there, so Imola I haven't even brought it yet, so yeah, I better go onto it. Better get myself sorted so I can get up there and onto the podium somehow.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been over here on this side of the water.
Yeah, I always try and do one season of official per year. I think the official is very important to do. iRating's lost a little bit of its indicator. More so as we've got so many leagues, V8 and other categories too. Because it's just hard to get the structures we like. But I love doing official. It's important to do as much as you can when you're learning it too. So. But now I've learnt pretty much a lot of stuff. I try and make one season a year, no matter what. So it's nice to be back.
It was good fun watching him.
I want to take a second, Sean, and just to say thank you for all the help that you provide to us at V8's Online. And, you do some graphic work for us, stuff to add your feedback on things, and just the what you do for the community as a whole. Just appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, everyone steps up a little bit here and there from time to time. I spent 3 years or so just driving, watching V8's Line, and there's a lot of people that I just hadn't talked to, didn't know, and it's only really last year that I've really, making new friends and, working closely with people that, so it's been really good. It's just nice to give back a little bit, and there's lots of dedicated people out there, lots of people behind the scenes that people just wouldn't even know. I mean, guys like, I don't know, say for example, Christian Howard, who's doing all the chat points automation and new overlays coming and all sorts of things. There's an awful lot that goes into it, and keeping on improving it. But happy to help out for a bit, and after we're having all those years just driving, does take a little bit away from my own driving goals, but hopefully I can still get up there.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult for us on this side of the water to, get into the V8 community. But I've found the past season or so since I've joined SDRT, it's definitely helped out on my speed. But not only that, you're able to race in other things, V8 scops, and meet new people and drive, and it makes the community, makes driving this car a lot more special than any of the other cars, because there's not a community like this out there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's always thing to remember is always just awesome people in every garage. It's just the same group of people in a different garage. We're having fun. We've got similar interests, and if it was around at a barbecue, we'd all be talking about motor racing and stuff. So no, it's really good to have to share the experience with people and learn off them. And sometimes, setup gets talked about a lot, but sometimes you just need that reference point, and that's what a team can do sometimes. So hopefully some of the teams will provide some more reference points for newcomers, so they've got something to go for. That's probably one thing that's missing, whereas official 3 years ago was like the same weather in practice and quality and race, so the newcomers could really have those exact reference points and really push and find out where they're 3/10 slow. But now it's a little bit over the place. It does mix it up a bit, but I imagine that makes it harder for the guys trying to get up through the ladder.
Yeah, it definitely helped out, especially when I was starting about 2 years ago with this car, seeing you and Madison and Marlon and Bo and whatnot there at the very top of the list, and I knew where I needed to go. I knew exactly what the time was, but now I've been driving it for a while, so I understand where the top is now. But if I came in now, I wouldn't know if I'm fast or slow.
Yeah, I don't know how to get those reference points, but it's the same. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same old thing. Just got to keep. There's always just more time on the table, and it's always coming back to seat time, doesn't it? I mean, back in the old days, you used to spend 3 to 6 hours prep for an official race. Sometimes even 10 hours. Some of us, it's still much the same. If you only got an hour or two in the car, you're definitely going to be a few positions down. So it always comes back to seat time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I've definitely, me personally, since the last season, I've really decided to put a whole lot of time into it, and it's definitely seen its results. As with yesterday, I had a pretty good race, and had I been out there, I probably would have been racing with you and Corey and Marlon and whatnot. So it would have been a lot of fun. but it's definitely pretty killer up here.
No, that's
But
exactly it. Yeah, no, good job, Ryan. You've moved up 2 or 3 tenths and 10 positions, and yeah, everyone else around you's always working just as hard typically, and yeah, that never comes easy.
oh no, that's for sure. But it was good seeing you this time around. It's been a while, and it's cool to see your name come back up again.
Yeah, cheers. I'll make appearance next week, and obviously Scott's week. So, but I'm not prepared these last few weeks anyway. But yeah, no, I really look forward to Imola the following week too. So, yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys, and Ryan and Kane.
Well, thanks for coming in and talking to us, Sean. I really appreciate you stopping by, and good to see you running the series. And we'll see you next time.
Sweet, cheers, guys.
Last but certainly not least, Marlon McMullen. Marlon battling some computer issues this season. Start kind of far down the list for Marlon, but top 10 finish today. How did it go, Marlon?
Yeah, that was pretty much my goal after qualifying, just trying to break into the top 10. But today, no, the computer wasn't too bad compared to last week. Last week was absolutely horrendous. I was probably about a second I would have to slow down just to sort of get around the track because of those tyre bundles. But this track I could sort of push a little bit more, and it was a bit more consistent throughout the race. And it was really good in qualifying today. I sort of had a real sort of good feel of the car, and I got nothing with this car at the moment. I'm just not feeling pretty down packed with it. But I pulled out a pretty nice lap, but I could have gone a bit faster to probably pop it up in the top 6. So it's good. It was a bit more positive today than it was last week, but yeah, there's a couple more things I've got to get right with it. And it's one of those cars at the moment because everyone's so fresh that, the gap is so minute that if you just make one little mistake, especially at a track like this where the lap's so short, it can really haunt you 3 or 4 positions. So yeah, today was really, really fun to sort of be battling in that quali session and having a little bit of sort of pace. So it was a bit refreshing. But yeah, coming to the race, as I said, I just tried to get into the top 10, and I knew after yesterday, the first few laps were quite hard off the tyres, and trying to get the power on the front straight's a bit sketchy. So I was hoping to sort of just survive getting around a few people that were going to go off an excursion to the pit lane. It was quite interesting to watch a few times. But yeah, made a couple of positions there, and so I had a really great race with Luke Harvey all the way, and just tried to stay in front of him, and sort of watched Corey pick his way through the field, and was hoping towards the end I could slowly sort of just catch up towards the guys in front of me and just be as consistent as I can and look after those tyres and sort of mount any bit of a challenge should anything arise at the end of the race. And sure enough, yeah, once Jake, not sure what happened to him, once he came back onto the track, sort of spruced things back up and gave me a little bit of a kick into the rear side to say, come on, let's try and get a couple of positions here. But I could see they were going pretty hard, hammer and tong towards the end. So I just sort of sat there and sort of contemplated about trying to take 3 positions in one corner. But yeah, it's hard at the moment with this computer, and I don't want to run the risk. So I was just pretty much happy just to sort of sit there, and if anything should arise, I was hoping just to pick up the scraps. But I was happy with 10th today, so it was a lot better than last week, but things can be a lot better.
Yeah, we were noticing there at the end, those last couple of laps, it kind of noticed that you're driving a little bit more aggressively than what you were yesterday. But it was definitely fun to watch, especially there at the end, trying to see if you pass and catch and pass those guys. But they kind of made it a little bit easier to catch them, not so much passing.
Yeah, most definitely. It's one of those tracks where it's really easy to catch someone, especially if they get into a battle. Because I mean, if they compensate 3 or 4 tenths of a second, well, within a lap, as you know, yesterday with a great battle, if you lose 3 or 4 tenths around, yeah, it absolutely haunts you. So it's one of those tracks you really don't want to sort of give up any time. So you can get the pass done quickly and swiftly. It is more ideal rather than sort of duke it out for a lap. So when I saw those boys go side by side throughout the lap, I was pretty much just, clasping my hands together and hoping I could get a lot closer to them. And yeah, it pulled me straight up to the rear of the bumpers. And if I was a bit more aggressive, I would have tried to have made a move. But there's no point being that person towards the end of the race and ruining their race, just because you just want to get a move. It's a bit selfish. So I was just happy to sit there towards the end and see if I could do anything at all, which I couldn't. So, oh well.
Yeah. But back to that comment, you were saying the gap is pretty minute. We noticed while we're going through the starting order, first to 15th was a second. So we're getting pretty close to the way it is in the real V8 Supercar series, where it takes only a second to lose more than 10 places or 15 places. So it's really tight, and I think the car being a lot easier to, I wouldn't say easier, I don't like saying easier because it's not easier to drive, a little more predictable, so you can drive it a little bit harder. Really helps out to bring that gap closer together, but it really makes the racing on track a lot better because you are able to push it harder, able to go for those passes, able to be a little more aggressive with the car. And it really showed itself today throughout the entire field, not just where you were, but throughout the entire field. There were races happening all over the place, and I think it really comes down to the car being a lot more predictable.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think the word I like to sum up this season, reward. That's what sort of the echo is up and down the field. I guess everyone's sort of just reaping the rewards each and every week. It's so competitive now. You don't know who's going to be out on top. All of a sudden, you got guys who've always, sort of showed a little bit of skill, being exactly where they are. It's, as I said, it put everyone back to level 1, and it really did. It's interesting when you get such a new car. I think Kane's seen it before with myself a couple of years ago. And it was an update I just did not understand at all. So there's a lot of drivers who probably should be a lot faster than what they are, but they just sort of haven't got to grasp with it. But there's some other guys who have just pounced on it and soaked it up like a sponge. And, with it, it sort of brings a little bit of different driving style as well. You can't sort of just drive it like you used to in the past. You can sort of be more aggressive with it now, and it will reward you. And it is more predictable, so you have a bit more trust in the car. But obviously, as it's still pretty fresh, we're all trying to iron out the kinks and all that with the setups, and it's been quite an interesting development phase so far, because no one's really got out to such a big leap ahead in such times. Everyone's still pretty tight, and it's really good to see. So, the tighter the times, the better the racing. As long as it's nice and clean at the end of the day, like it was today. It was a pretty good race considering how short the circuit is, and especially with the intensity of the field. Yeah, no, it just shows you. It just shows you how good some of these guys are around here. So, we all should be proud, and we'll see how we go.
Gotta tell you, Marlon, I'm really digging the new mic. It sounds a lot clearer. We can really hear what you're saying with this new mic. So that's worth complimenting on.
Oh, good. It's good to know all those hours of work have paid off. No, definitely the Logitech is something I've used in the past, and ever since I don't know what it is, the G633, whatever it is, the brand new one. It's really nice. Obviously, the LED lights are a bit annoying, so I had to turn them off. But I've also got a mouse which tells me to sort of breathe, because I sort of don't breathe throughout the race. So it sort of pulsates a light towards me to say, just breathe, just be calm. And no, it's quite nice. So I hear more sounds now with it. Once I get the new computer as well, with the new sound card, it should sound really hickory dickory clock, whatever that saying is. You know what I mean? Pretty good. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, man. But and also back to that comment you're talking about, how everybody's really close. Next week we go to the other Indy, and it really is going to show who is going to be, who's. I think that's going to be where we start to see who's going to be really good in this car and who's not. I know are you going to be racing in it or no? Because I know you still probably have that old computer that's probably beat up still, right?
What's next week? Next week's Interlagos. I know from previous experiences that my computer's going to struggle at that circuit, because there's so much to render. It's such a huge track, but it's one of those tracks as well, as you said. You'll be able to start seeing the guys' true skills, because it's sort of more of a trickier sort of circuit. There's more sort of elements to master around it, but whatever reason, in the past it seems to always bring up a good battle. But it's a track as well where things can go quite wrong, and we'll see what the car does, because there's more corners, there's more stress and load on the car. So I just want to see a pit stop soon,
Yeah, and but yeah, I know you don't run the Scott series, but who are you predicting is going to be good there.
Oh, sorry. What track is it for the Scuff Series?
We're running the Indy F1 layout.
Oh, okay. No way. Oh, sorry. I was completely.
No.
thought it
You're
was-
fine. I mean, that works out too, because Interlagos is definitely not the easiest of tracks.
Oh yeah, no, this track as well, Brands Hatch. I was talking about it with Sean before, actually. The other circuit's quite interesting. It throws up, it's a bit longer, obviously, but it throws up so much more opportunities to learn this car, and we're pretty much just turning right here all day. I mean, that's the sort of nature of this circuit, but you sort of open up the circuit a bit more. There's a couple more left-handers and a couple of more interesting corners you sort of get used to the car with. So we sort of haven't had those sort of higher paced tracks yet, so it's hard to sort of see who's got the sort of handle on the sort of switch back in the direction of the car. But obviously, at the moment, I'd say Madison's looking pretty strong. But I haven't really had the chance to watch the Scops series at all. But it's just after today, the qualifying of Sam and Madison's pretty tight. So as I said to you, no one's really got a good clasp on the car. It's sort of anyone's race at the moment. It's just about, doing the best job you can do really in qualifying, setting yourself up for the race and just sort of taking it lap by lap at the moment, because that's really the variable. You can't sort of predict it no more. It's good to say this person's going to win, but we just don't know now. And especially when there's a track like, the Indy circuit where there's a few more corners and I don't know if there's a pit stop or whatever it is. And there's a higher risk to go off of that circuit. It's pretty tricky. As I said, anyone's race can definitely be thrown into the equation.
Yeah, and after last week and this week, really shown that me personally, I've come to like this car a lot better, and it's definitely helped out my pace. So I'll definitely be putting in a lot of laps in between now and next week to hopefully get up there in the top split and be able to wake up a little bit later. I'm not looking forward to waking up at 3 a.m. for a second split race.
If the passion's there, you can do anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was doing it first couple of races, but yeah, I'm looking forward to next week, especially this new car. But like I said, between last week and yesterday, it's really shown that I've got a little bit more pace in this car versus the last physics update. The last car just didn't suit me well. This one suits me a lot better. But it was good watching you today, and we'll see you next week at Interlagos. Hopefully, if your computer keeps up.
Yeah, no, it's a track, as I said in the past, which some bizarre things have happened to me at this circuit. I don't know why. I love the circuit. I love the old F1 circuits. I've always been pretty good around them. But I don't know what it is about the circuit. It's been a little bit of a bogey track for me with luck and sort of mystical stuff happening. One race I sort of took to the grid and the computer shut down all of a sudden. I was like, okay, that's a bit different. And last time I think we were here, it was pretty. It's a track where it's hard to pass on, so you'll see there's a lot of battles that will develop. If it's anything like today, expect it again like next week, because it's just so tricky to pop a clean pass there. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully there's a pit stop thrown up, and we'll see if it can capitalise.
Yeah, the last time we were there, me and Victor Tanaka put down 42 laps of side-by-side racing. It was a Friday night race that Kane decided that he wasn't going to broadcast, but I always give him crap when he doesn't broadcast. Normally I have a really good race, but it's a really great track. I enjoy it. Not my favorite, but I enjoy it, and I think it's really going to help out, show who's quick and who's not.
Well, it's a really technical track. It's definitely a driver's track. There's a nice slow section that's quite technical, that you really got to get those slower turns just right to get good speed through those turns. And then it has a good fast part too. But even the fastest parts are tricky, in that one wrong move and your race will be over.
Oh, it bites. It certainly bites, especially turn one. It's one of those circuits you really got to sort of be brave and throw it in, and you got to remember there's always a guy around you that can that can pounce from 15 meters on the other side of the track. It's very wide, so it's good. We'll see how the guys flow the car.
Yeah, man, and hopefully we'll see you see you next week, and hopefully we have a pretty good race like we had last night also.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. It's quite refreshing compared to last week.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Marlon, for coming in for the post-race chat. I do want to take a second to thank Ryan Shelton for coming in and joining me tonight. Like I said, JD out of town tonight. He's having post-engagement, I guess, vacation with his new fiance. So if you see him online, wish him a congratulations. He and his new girlfriend should be living happily ever after from this point on. Those two definitely get along well together, so congratulations, definitely in order. Looks like he found a good one there. But thanks again to Ryan Shelton. I couldn't have done it without you, man. Fantastic job coming in here tonight and commentating with me. It's not easy to just jump in this thing and not stink, and that's you did. You jumped in here and did a nice job. So I definitely appreciate it. Ended up being a pretty good show. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not the very first time I've done something like this, but it's been a lot of fun. I plan on sticking around and helping you out as much as as much as you need it. So you know where to get me, and I'm more than welcome to come over as long as my Thursday race doesn't suck so bad like it did last week. But yeah, I enjoyed it being up here. Little break from the car, kind of needed every once in a while. But once we got this new car, I would have liked to been out there, but it's definitely a lot of fun. That's for sure. And I'll definitely be back as you need me.
Awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate all the help that not just you, but over the seasons, I've had so many of the drivers that have been willing to come in and help me out, and the commentary booth. Brendan O'Brien's helped out several times. Jake's helped out so many times. I can't even count. And Victor Tanaka. So thanks to each and every one of you guys who have seen me in here struggling. Marty Carroll, he's seen me struggling a couple times, come and give me a hand, and it is so helpful. And just to have somebody to bounce stuff off of, somebody just to say something every once in a while helps tremendously. So thank you all for the help. I appreciate it, and of course thank you for your help tonight, Ryan. Do want to remind everybody that the Monday night main event in Australia here in the Strength of Field races has come back to V8's Online. You can tune in starting Monday night, July 4th in Australia for that Strength of Field race. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Going to have a lot of great races coming your way in that Monday night Strength of Field races. So that's great news for the Australian Strength of Field. And then of course you got V8 Supercars Online Premier Series as well next weekend. That one's going to be a race you're not going to want to miss. We also got NASCAR iRacing Series next Wednesday. The guys will be at Daytona. Daytona is always a great race in the NASCAR, so join us next Wednesday for the NASCAR racing. It's going to be at 8 o'clock Central here in America, 9 o'clock Eastern here on V8 Online, and it should be on iRacing Live as well. JD will be back next week, and things should start to return to normal around here. I want to thank everyone for sticking with us through our kind of slow period here while I took my vacation, and now JD's on his vacation, and definitely been kind of a slow period here. And then of course we had several weeks even before that where we had bugs and issues with the software, so things seem to really be going good here now, and we should be looking for a great season. So thanks everybody for your support and sticking with us through all that stuff. And we will see you next week at Interlagos.
Out of opportunities. An incredible move. What a deserved victory. We tried. Well done. Brilliant job. And now we got a race for the lead.
It's off into the